Hey guys, so today we're out here talking about super cheap modifications that you can make to pretty much any kayak, but in particular the Sun Dolphin Phoenix 10.4. This particular kayak is one that I got at Walmart for $99, so doesn't get much cheaper than that. I got it on clearance for $99. Actually, I got two of them, as you can see over there. This one right here is the most basic one. So this one in particular just kind of comes with these little straps that go over the top of your thing. Compartment here. This actually holds quite a bit of stuff in there, as you can see. So there's quite a bit of room down there. Goes all the way back. So not a bad little kayak, honestly. This seat here actually came with it as well. And the only thing that I really modified on this particular one, see, it even has the hand holders, these straps on here. The only things that I've really added to this particular one was this little Scotty mount right here for a rod holder, and then this little cleave right here. Okay, so not a lot of modifications that I've done to this one. Alright, so this is just your most basic kayak, not a whole heck of a lot done to it and everything, but it is still a very good kayak. It stays out of the water, doesn't fill up with water, very safe. I could stand up in it possibly if I wanted to, but I don't. But it's I weigh about 250 pounds. It holds me up very well. I fish in it all the time, not a problem at all. Then moving over here to this kayak. Now if you notice, I made quite a few modifications in order to make this a fishing ready kayak. All right. So I'm going to kind of go over the different modifications that I've made to it. Now keep in mind, I wanted to make this as budget friendly as humanly possible. At the end of the day, it's a $99 kayak, but I did not want it to feel like a $99 kayak. So the modifications that I've made here have made it possible for me to go fishing very comfortably. I don't feel like I'm missing out, and I don't have any desire to upgrade because this one does everything that I needed to do because I modified it for my needs. Now you can modify yours in any way that you want. This is just how I chose to modify it based on how I like to fish. Now the very first thing that I did when I modified this is I needed a place to put my paddle. Okay, this is the paddle that actually came with it. I put a paddle mount. All right. If you notice, just a couple screws. Took maybe 5 minutes to install. Paddle holder, I believe I got from Walmart. I think it was like $2, $3. Super, super cheap. All right. Now, if you notice, I have one on this side. If you come around to the other side, I mounted another one over here. Okay. Now this one I mounted on here purely so that I could put on my net. Now, I could also switch sides if I wanted to. So if I decide I need the paddle on the other side and I want my net on the other side, I could do that. But I also made this extremely versatile, and I'll show you how in just a moment. So one of the things that I wanted to do was make it so that I could be very versatile in different scenarios. So if you notice, I have a fishing pole right here in this rod holder. That rod holder right there and everything, you would think, why would you put a fishing pole there? I actually put it there on purpose. Because if you notice, this rod can hang down right over my seat, which allows me to change out my bait really easy. So I can change out the bait, I can change out the tackle without a problem. Okay, I can drop the line down right in my lap, I can change it out. So this is actually a good changing station. However, watch when I remove that. I can now move my net into this position. So this is a much more active position for the net. It's out of the way still. See, if you notice, it's not hanging over the cargo area or the seating area. Lots of space still, not in the way. So it gives me some flexibility on how I want to place my net. Another option for net placement, I also put back here, put a little Scotty rod mount. Now, if you notice, again, out of the way. This can twist all the way around, so it completely turns. So it's 100% flexible. This, I can have it facing that way. If I want to turn it backwards, I can have it turning backwards. It has this little lock that comes in place. These are just your standard Scotty mounts. I already had these, so it was really good. I use these for saltwater fishing and all that, so I've already had them, so I just mounted them on, but you can buy them. They're not very expensive. Okay, if you notice here, I have a couple other mounts. These two mounts right here, I added on. If you notice the placement of them, I had them so that they were actually put where this string comes right over the top, so it actually holds these rods in place a little bit better. These holes are a little bit big, so not ideal for, you know, a thin rod on the bottom and everything, but you could put foam down there if you wanted to as well. They make them a little bit thinner as well, but these, you can get these for like, you know, if you get them on Wish, you can get them for something like 2 for $10, something along those lines. I got these particular ones at Bass Pro, and you can angle them whatever direction you wanted. I wanted mine angled back. You could have them straight up and down. You could have them facing forward, which would be ridiculous because now you're hitting yourself in the head with your poles. But if you notice, they fit perfectly, and I could put more. There's lots more space all the way through here. All right. Next thing I did, again, Scotty mount, is I put in an anchor mount. This is one of the few things that I actually had to buy that I didn't already have. But this right here, just an anchor holder. This flips up so you can move the line in and out. You have your standard anchor, and you can get a variety of different sizes. Anchor, I think it was like 10 bucks at Walmart, super cheap. This thing kind of goes up and down. Then I have the rope, comes inside my kayak in here, so you can you know, get whatever kind of rope you want there. And then I have this cleat here that I mounted just in case I want to mount it in. I also have another cleat, if you notice, on this side. Again, I wanted to make the kayak as versatile as possible. So if I decide I need to put something on one side, I can change it up to the other side on the fly. Or if I decide that I need to have numerous fishing poles, like if I want 4 poles, I could literally have 4 poles or even 5 poles if I want to keep one on my person. Or if I want to go without an anchor or without the anchor mount, I could even put in a Scotty rod holder in that spot, and now I'll have 2 trolling rods if I wanted to. These 2 back rods, the front rod, and then I could just use the cleat to hold an anchor, either one of these cleats. All right, so I have some pretty extreme versatility in how my rods are placed and how I want to anchor. I could move the anchor to the other side if I wanted to. Like if I feel like, for example, this is very close to my paddle. It doesn't hit. It actually seems to be just perfect where I got it. But if I wanted to, I could move it to the other side. Now, a couple of other modifications that I've made here that are pretty fantastic is I just added this little strap here. Okay, just a typical car strap. Again, I already had one of these, so it was pretty easy to mount in. And I got a waterproof case. Okay, highly suggest this any kind of waterproof case, but make sure it has something that can hold it in place. All right, so I got this so I can place my phone in it. Works fantastic. And the best part is, if you notice here, this slides right along the side perfectly. And the reason why I have the rope on it is, of course, so that it doesn't go too far back. The next thing that you'll notice, this particular kayak actually comes with a cup holder in the middle. That's actually where I place things like while I'm mounting or while I'm rigging up a new rig. That's actually where I'm going to place the stuff that I'm going to put on the line before I need it. All right, so if I put a sinker in there, I put the hook in there, whatever. So it's actually a great place to hold it. Again, that came with this particular kayak. Another thing that already came in it are these mounts for my feet. And of course, this nice little cup holder that's perfect for a nice sized thermos or whatever. And then I, of course, put any kind of spent baits right in here so that I'm not leaving trash behind. Definitely don't want to do that. All right, some other modifications I added were I added these straps on here. Honestly, I don't use these to carry the kayak. I use this more for mounting it on the roof of my vehicle. I find that it's a great place to pass a tow strap through, so I don't feel like my kayak is going to fly off the car. It's never happened. I don't want it to happen. And I feel like having it there makes me more confident that it's not going to happen. Then the last real modification that I made, and I wouldn't even call it a modification, but I have another one of the straps on this side. This is just for any kind of incidentals that I may want to hook on. Again, that goes straight down the side. And then if you notice, I got a tackle box here. It could actually hold 3 boxes, but I put 2 in there because with 2, it mounts nicely right out of my way. So that thing just barely grazes my leg when I'm in the kayak. I really don't feel it, I really don't notice it, but I can easily slide it, pull it in front of me, pull out the box that I need to work on. Lots of room, lots of space. All right. But all together, you're looking at a kayak that I spent $99 on. And then because I already had most of the things that I needed, I only had to buy this rod holder and these 2 rod holders back here. I think I spent, and then these cleats, and of course the different holder, the mounts and everything. So altogether, I probably spent $30, maybe $40 altogether on mounts for this kayak. Since I already had the Scotty rod holders and all that kind of stuff. So I would say altogether, if you had to do this without any of those things, you're looking at tops $200 for a great fishing kayak. It's very comfortable. A lot of people will even remove the seat and replace that. I find that the seat is perfectly fine. It's comfortable. I sit in it for hours at a time. I've been on the rivers, been on lake. None of it's bothered me at all. I've never had a point where I decided that I needed a new seat. Never felt that it was uncomfortable. So it's perfect for me. All right, it's very, very sturdy, solid kayak. No complaints whatsoever. Now, a couple things that you want to know in order to do these modifications, to take it from that to this, and to do it safely, because I'm going to get blasted with comments about people that say every hole that you make in it is another chance for it to sink and get water in it. All right, that's fine, but I have also sealed off my holes. So every one of these mounts, I made sure that I put some type of sealant in there to make sure that water doesn't get through the holes. But again, I've never had water come over the top, so not a problem. If you're not doing stupid things on the water, you should have no problems whatsoever. All right, another thing that you're going to need in order to do this will make your life a lot easier, are these circular little attachments that you do right on your drill. Okay, so super cheap. Don't buy them at Home Depot. Definitely buy these at Walmart. And Walmart, they come in a pack. It's like a 5-pack or something like that, or 4-pack, I believe it is, with everything that you need to attach it to your drill. And I think I spent like $5 on this. And I can use it for other things. All right, so it comes in a bunch of different sizes, and that allowed me to mount up every single thing that you see here. And then maybe used another drill bit to bore it out a little bit further from there. But other than that, that's pretty much all I needed in order to make this kayak happen. All right. So if you want a fishing kayak, you don't have a lot of money, not a lot of excuses. Just head down to your Walmart, make sure you get a kayak that's big enough for you. Like I said, this one's a 10.4 inch, or 10 foot 4 inch, I believe is what the 10.4 means. And this is a Sun Dolphin Phoenix. Spend $99 on clearance. I think regular price is like $200. So even if you had to pay regular price for it and everything, still you're talking with all these modifications I have here, I would probably have to spend $1,000 on a fishing kayak, possibly more, to get the same thing. If you're a much bigger person, I'd say if you're 300 pounds or more, because these kayaks only hold 300 pounds, then you might want to go a little bit bigger than that. Also, I'm going to show you another modification that I made here for this particular kayak. All right, that's even cheaper. So I already had this weight. This is just your standard weight that you would have probably lying around the house. A lot of people have these that, a lot of people work out and then they stopped working out. That works perfectly fine. Throw a rope on it, tie it up, then you can tie it right to one of these cleats. So it gives you some flexibility. You don't have to spend a lot of money. These rod holders and everything, you can actually do this with PVC pipe. Just make sure that you mount it properly. Some people will put a rack on the back here and everything that'll have multiple things in a PVC with PVC pipes and everything come out of them. Other options that you have is you can put floats on if you're a big person and you're afraid of your kayak flipping over. That might be my next project, just put some stabilizers on here. But honestly, guys, this is a great kayak. Works perfectly fine. And I'm telling you, it's cost me altogether, kayak and all the modifications on it, it's cost me about 150 bucks. All right. So if you want a cheap kayak, cheap modifications, this is definitely the way to go. If you had to buy all the Scotty mounts and everything, you're talking 200 bucks tops. All right. If you guys have any questions about how I did any of the modifications, if you want any assistance with it, if you want to throw anything my way, any ideas my way and everything, by all means, drop it in the comment. Also, make sure that you like the video and hit the subscribe button. All right, I'm going to be doing a lot more kayaking videos in the future, a lot more kayak fishing. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're updated every time I do one.